In a movie about mystery, paranoia, and betrayal, John Carpenter's The Thing has kept many of its secrets hidden since its debut in 1982. However, none have been so well kept as who, if anybody, was a thing in the final scene. My name is Atticus, and welcome to Myths and Mischief. The film takes place in a military base in Antarctica, where there hides an alien that can duplicate anyone exactly, down to memories and personality. Its goal is to assimilate all organisms and take over worlds and planets with its collective consciousness. Naturally, this leaves open a lot of questions about who was a thing and when. Spoiler alert for a 43-year-old movie. If you haven't seen it by now, that's on you. The film ends with R.J. MacReady wandering the abandoned ruins of the military station with a drink. Childs, another member of the team, comes behind him and sits next to a fire with MacReady. Childs was last seen running seemingly aimlessly into a snowstorm, so his survival is already suspicious. But since the camp was in flames, he may have just followed the light to get back. MacReady's survival is also suspicious. Since last we saw him, he had thrown a stick of dynamite at the main antagonist Thing, which had absorbed just about everyone else by then. We don't see him leave, and we don't see the Thing actually die, so it's plausible that MacReady was assimilated off-screen. However, despite neither man trusting the other, they both agree it's better to freeze in the snow than to let the Thing make its way back to the mainland. Many watchers saw this ending as bleak and hopeless, but Carpenter always maintained that it was a hopeful ending, where despite suspecting one another, two people are willing to die to save humanity. Remember that, it'll be important later. The movie leaves us with MacReady and Childs sharing a final drink, when they had avoided swapping saliva for fear of an infected cell causing somebody to get assimilated from the inside. They laugh, finally experiencing real connection again, for the last time. Then the theme kicks in. Which only ever played in the presence of a thing. It's designed to confuse you. When the prequel came out, it clarified that when somebody is assimilated, all metal is forced out of their body and replaced with biological parts. Childs is seen wearing an earring, seemingly proving his innocence. However, the prequel also establishes that the Things learned from this, and one of them placed his earring back in after it was ejected out of the original form. A sequel game came out, revealing the survival of MacReady and the death of Childs, but with Childs ultimately being human. A sequel comic series also took this route. But are these sources canon? Can they be trusted? Well, John Carpenter has said the game is canon, so there's your answer. Except, he also said the game is not canon on a different occasion. In fact, just about any question you ask him about the ending, he will contradict at a later date. He has most notably said that Childs is obviously the Thing because you can't see his breath, even though you can see his breath. And we have seen other things in the snow with their breath visible. He has also hinted at both of them being things, and said outright that both were human. So what's the deal? I think I have the answer. Remember that thing I told you to remember? That Carpenter said it's a hopeful ending? Well, he's never once wavered on that. It's the one thing he's been consistent about. To me, that confirms its truth. This adds a new layer. The ending can't be hopeful if either man is a thing. The things can just freeze in the snow, surviving for hundreds of thousands of years until somebody thaws them out and they can conquer yet another world. If either Childs or MacReady is a thing, then when they freeze, one of them will die and the other will be dormant, waiting to be found and taken to the mainland. His sacrifice would be for nothing. If the ending is hopeful, they have to be human. There's no other way. So despite his attempts to contradict himself and confuse the audience at every turn, Carpenter's insistence on the story being hopeful betrayed the truth of the matter from the very beginning. Do you agree? This issue is divisive. Some people believe so heavily in one theory or another. I'd love to hear your reasoning behind it. Please leave a comment with your thoughts and don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a deep dive. Until our next adventure, my name is Atticus and I'll see you there.